We have Curses on the right once again, and on the left we have Sam on Werg Urion. We'll give chat a prediction opportunity now. We'll give chat 2 minutes for predictions here. Is Shepard or Chalice the villain, says Force of Phil? A great question. And one person says Shepard. One person. All right, turn one Chalice gets, looks like Force of Negation there. Let me reset the score. This is game one. Nobody has any opinion about Vintage, it looks like. That's fine. Chalice now opens for Shepard on Wednesday nights. They are no longer headlining. That's true. That's true. That's true. All right, here's Trinisphere. Looks like Sam has a Force of Will. Thinking about letting Trinisphere resolve, possibly? Sam knows what's up. Sam knows what deck I'm on, so no surprises here. Force of Will pitching Uro on the Trinisphere. And as I was mentioning earlier on the stream, when we were talking about my favorite decks in Legacy, I'm pretty new to the actually I'm not pretty new. I'm very new to playing Chalice Trinisphere decks in Legacy, and I'm curious what any Chalice or Trinisphere Legacy deck Legacy players think about this. I've been prioritizing hands with either Chalice and Trinisphere. Do other Prison players and Stompy players do the same, or do you not worry if your opening 7 doesn't have Chalice or Trinisphere, but you have, let's say your Blood Moon if you're Mono Red Prison, or your how much of a priority is it for you in Mulligans having Chalice and Trinisphere in hand? And let me know in Twitch chat or let me know in the YouTube comments. How high priority is that for you? Because that seems like and so far I've been mulliganing a bit aggressively to try and make sure in the blind I have Chalices and or Trinispheres, and that I can play them on turn 1 or 2. But you know, in Legacy, how good is a turn 2 Chalice on 1 versus a turn 1 Chalice on 1? Like, those are things that I'm still figuring out, and can't say I'm really an expert on yet. I'm still learning and trying to feel it out. And that's what'll celebrate. And we were talking about deck experts earlier as well. That's what'll separate someone who's, you know, a seasoned, well-oiled machine, Mono Red Prison or Reanimator or Infect or Elves or whatever player versus someone like me who is used to playing blue-black piles and is now trying a Chalice, a Trinisphere deck, and making a lot of mistakes, frankly. Or realizing that I'm taking risks I don't need to take, or that I'm mulliganing away hands that I could have kept, or keeping hands I should have mulliganed. I'm still in that phase of learning this deck. And I think I'm a slower learner than other players. Like some players in any format really are able to pick up a deck that they're not used to playing and play it well enough to just get by and pick up some wins. Whereas it takes me a long time to feel like I know um, the the basics of playing a deck, especially in a format like Legacy, enough to say, all right, I get this deck, I know how to play it, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna win some games. I feel like it takes more effort on my part than maybe some like some other streamers, for example, will just switch decks to something they never played before and go 3-2 in a league or whatever. Um, I'm not really versatile like that. I have to really study up. Anyway, all right, bunch of constructs on the battlefield. Things are going well here, it seems. Taking 4 from Ancient Tomb, and here's the Curse of Misfortunes. After picking the 4 monkeys, you got to pick 71 other cards. That's the hard part. Yeah. Not really, but I get the joke. Yeah, mulligans and sideboarding. Mulligans and sideboarding I've struggled with. And I think, you know, compared to a lot of other constructed focus players, I think about my decks both mulliganing and sideboarding. I think about my decks like a limited player where I'm trying to um I'm trying to like trim certain things but still keep the focus of the deck, and that works for some archetypes but not for others, and it's been a struggle for me in like when I play constructed formats. Roberts, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, that's great, Side Norna. I also, like maybe I learn a different way than other Magic players too. I've noticed a lot of Magic players will, um, let's say they want to learn Blue Red Delver, for example, they'll before they've ever played a game with the deck, they'll just watch a streamer or a YouTuber or read an article with a sideboard guide and whatnot how to play the deck, and that's enough information for them to just pick up the deck, bring it to their game store, and start jamming and start feeling like they're winning some games. For me, it's more like I have to, and I can't just goldfish either. I have to sit and I have to play games and sideboard, and and I have to do it. And honestly, it's hard to make time for that. Like I can't go every day of the week and like sit with somebody and jam. I also don't have Magic Online installed on my computer, and I haven't for like 5 years. So it's just a process. High Train Conductor Kirkinator says, because this is a 90s channel, you might all get this. Games are way different now. Everything is so competitive, and it seems to be less about fun, especially on MTGO. Yeah, that in a way, that's kind of what I like about Arena. I kind of play Arena the same way people play Solitaire on their computer, where I'll be bored and have some downtime, and I'll just jam. And I'm moving up the ladder, I'm platinum or whatever. But if I get bored, if I get a phone call, or I have to go eat lunch or whatever I'll just concede. Like I really don't care that much about the results, and that kind of makes me like Arena. It just feels more casual. Like I can just like jam when I'm bored, and it doesn't really matter if I win. I mean, it matters, right? We all want to win, but you know what I'm saying. All right, Chalice on one here. Chalices on ones are dropping. That's true. If I don't have MTGO, I miss out on 1,000 matches a week. Yeah, I just don't do Magic Online. I barely play any digital Magic. I have to play in person. I also compared to most Magic players. I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like I have a shorter attention span for the game. Like I can play 4 or 5 rounds and have a great time, but after that, I'm starting to get a little bored. Like I want to go do something. Like I want to go sit at a park or something, or take a hike. Go take a walk. Go get myself a snack or something like, and just go hang out. Go socialize. Like I get a little like the idea of playing a 15 round tournament. I'm just like I can't do it. It's too long. It's too much. I can be hyper competitive for 5 rounds, 6 rounds, and then I'm bored. Yeah, I when New York City, I live in New York City. When we were in lockdowns and for a long time afterwards, there were no paper events in person firing. Um, I missed it very much, which is part of the reason I started streaming on Twitch actually to keep paper magic alive for me, not even for anybody else, for myself. Hot take: Magic is dull. The Gathering, what makes it great? I know you're probably being funny, but it's kind of true for me. Like, I love the game, but I even more love hanging out with people playing the game. That's kind of more important to me. To me personally, I don't knock anybody that plays Magic Online every day for hours. I mean, I've it's perfectly reasonable to enjoy doing that. But for me, what I enjoy is hanging out with people, jamming in person, and the social part in person. That's true, Taro. I also have like my friends that usually hang out on the weekends when I have weekends available. For a long time, I didn't have weekends available prior to the pandemic, so I wasn't really going to weekend Magic events at all. Um, but like none of my friends that I hang out with on a regular basis play Magic, which also kind of keeps me occupied with other things, I guess. Like if all my friends that I see all the time played Magic, and this is just happenstance, if they did, I'd probably play more weekend events. But then I also have friends that play that I see all the time that play weekend events, so it's like whatever. I think everybody gets what I'm saying. All right, Monastery Mentor is going off. Yeah, Paper Magic is not going to be dead, maybe ever. People are going to be on in the Mars colony jamming Paper Magic in the year 3000. That's my prediction on that. Paper Magic is going nowhere. How much will my City of Traders be in the year 3000, by the way? Does anybody have any MTG finance advice on that? Yeah, we all did that, Kirkinator. That's why the cards are worth money now, because we all did that. If we all didn't do that, the cards would probably be worth way less money. But we all dumped them. And Snaring Bridge now on the table, and it looks like I have one card in hand. Okay, attacks Karn. Nicely done, Taro. I wish I had done that. Yeah, I feel you, Kirk. We all made that same mistake, which is the whole reason why they're all worth money now. Very few people believed in the future of Magic at that point. Also, for me, when I was on hiatus from Magic for a while, I just didn't have time for it. Like, I was worried about other things. I wanted to go to college parties or whatever was going on. I just was busy with other stuff. I wasn't worried about Magic anymore. Started and returned to Ravnica. Nice. Are you playing any Pioneer? I'm curious. Tormod's Crypt. Don't know what that really does, but it keeps my hand size 0. Cantor doesn't believe it even now.
You guys started it.
No, I know.
Supposed to start a time.
I say put 35 on there. Because they had 25 when we started. When we started that. That sounds about right. This is game 2, right?
Game 2.
Yeah, game 2. We were talking about time left on the clock. Cast Dark Ritual.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a construct. And I'll pass. Making a construct with Dark Ritual just to keep my hand size 0 so the monks can't attack. Those are monk tokens, not Kithkin soldiers. Passing the turn. What's the advantage of playing the Curses deck? I don't know what the advantage is really. There isn't really an advantage, but what I'm trying to do is play a Chalice and Trinisphere deck in Legacy and challenge myself. I also think the deck is pretty good for a Chalice Trinisphere deck in the current format. It is decent against Delver. I found it to be decent against Death and Taxes. It can win combo matchups with Chalices and Trinispheres, and it has 4 Leyline of the Voids in the main deck. So I've won some games against decks like Reanimator just by having a Leyline in game 1. It's a fun deck, and it's skill testing for me. Just trying something different. And I've definitely won a few games so far just because people didn't understand what my cards do. Here's Pithing Needle.
I'll respond by sacrificing this.
Cool.
I'll grab Snow Covered Forest.
Okay. This is good.
Aerosols.
I'll name change.
Chase the Mind Sword.
Yeah.
Don't have to.
All right, Jace the Mind Sculptor named with Pithing Needle. No cards in hand for me still. Yeah, Prismatic Ending. Prismatic Ending does a lot against this deck, but this Curses deck can get starts where I, let's say, I'm just imagining here, turn 1, Trinosphere, turn 2, Curse of Misfortunes, and the game is over. If your deck doesn't have counter magic, you're dead. I've done that a few times already. Or turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Trinosphere, turn 3 Curse, and you're dead. The game is over. And it could do it pretty, I would say pretty often. And again, that's like the mulliganing thing I was talking about earlier where, you know, I'm still figuring out, is this hand to keep? I can possibly get a turn 2 Curse, but if they have Force of Will, I probably lose the game kind of thing going on. And, you know, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Seven people. Two.
Long sigh from here.
Go ahead.
Go to attacks.
Sure. I'll make a guy before blocks,
Yep.
and I'll block 3 of them.
Brainstorm. After blocks.
In response, I'll scoop.
All right. I kind of forgot what happened there, but yeah, I died. We're going to game 3.
The other thing that could happen is I draw something
Yeah.
I can't play.
Yeah, that's
Obviously.
what it's like.
I kept getting lucky drawing stuff that I could just cast. We'll try it.
Me too.
Oh, you're so right, Moses. We both missed that. Good catch.
Chalice?
Yeah, results. Good.
Wait, did I cast the needle? Or did I fetch it with Saga? Now I can't remember.
Good, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
sorry.
Turn 1 Chalice. Sounds like licensed music. Turn 1 Chalice. Turn 2 Trinosphere. Let's see.
Yep. Go ahead.
So this is what I was pointing out. It resolves. Oh, I casted it, so we're good. He could respond to it then. Thank you, Spike Pact inside Rona. Yeah, so the opponent can respond by fetching if I cast a Pithing Needle before it resolves, before I get to name anything. In case anybody wasn't sure. Last plug of the stream, I promise. For our Discord, if you haven't joined our Discord, join our Discord. There's the link. Come hang out with us there. Get full access on the Discord by becoming a member, Twitch sub, YouTube member, or Coffee member. There's our Coffee membership link there.
I mean, I would have played that.
Right.
And that's it. Does Curses play Cookbook to combo with the bridge? I'm not playing Cookbook. But that sounds interesting. I'll look into that. This is round 7 of 10 that we recorded at the LGS this past Monday. This is going to be the last round we show on stream. The other 3 rounds will be going up on YouTube in our members only section. So if you're interested to see the other 3 rounds, we have 2 more rounds with curses, I believe. And then, wait, why am I acting like I need to remember? I could just look here. 2 more rounds with curses. And then a round with Blue Red Delver versus this Urion pile we're watching right now. So if you're interested in that, go check out our YouTube channel and hit the join button.
Ah.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Oh, Chalice on 2.
Okay. Good.
Chalice on 2. Probably not the most relevant. The other thing I'm unsure about when playing this deck is like, how do I sequence chalices and Trinospheres and curses so that if my opponent has counter magic, they take the bait on the one I don't really need to resolve, and the one I want to resolve resolves. And that's a tricky part about playing a deck like this too. And I'm sure mono red prison players and other similar decks, players of similar decks, understand what I mean. How do I get the one that I want to resolve to resolve? Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Oh, plus 2 go.
Fate Seal Me.
Bottom.
And it goes on bottom. The other thing, and this is probably why I haven't played decks like this in the past, and I find this not appealing, actually, is that I'll have games like the one we're watching right now where I have Chalice, I have Trinosphere, but I don't have the hammer to end the game. I'm just like hoping the top of my deck brings me some threats at this point. And I'm just messing around playing Chalices on 2 where I would much rather be slamming a threat like a curse and ending the game. And I'm kind of struggling with enjoying that part of the deck. All right, Murderous Rider gets utilized here and knocks out Jace, which is the reason why I decided to swap out a Plague Engineer for Murderous Rider, because I wanted to be able to hit some Planeswalkers with it. And we as we saw in the previous round we had on stream, not having the Plague Engineer was not great for the previous round against Elves, but having the Murderous Rider a little bit better here against this Urion pile. So now waiting for Sam to make a decision here. Urion's still in exile and now going to be companioned to the hand and pass. We saw Teferi Time Raveler is in Sam's hand. And now I'm trying to think if I should make a construct, and it looks like I will. Make a foil construct and search. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get a Chromox here if I have... Yeah, all right. Chromox. Exile Dark Ritual, which can't be cast anyway because of Chalice on 1. It looks like, based on what we're seeing right now, there are a few 1-mana spells caught in Sam's hand by the Chalice, which is what I want. And also a Teferi Time Raveler and Urion. So a 6/6 construct for me now. Looks like Veil of Summer was just drawn. Veil of Summer pretty good against my deck, by the way. But yeah. Sam thinking about what to do here. Doesn't really have a lot of options. It's Teferi or Yurion, it looks like. Teferi can potentially shut off the Chalice for a while. Okay, shutting off Chalice on 2. Later, Roland, the Hype Train conductor. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving to you as well. Have a good Thanksgiving, Roland. See you next week, probably. Violin a Creature, thanks for the resub. 2 months for Violin a Creature at tier 1. Thank you, thank you. Stony Silence came down while I looked away. That's pretty good. See, now, you can see the cards in my hand. It looks like I have another Dark Ritual in hand, which is completely useless. I drew, like, trash after I locked my opponent out of the game for a few turns to start the game. Hagra Mauling played as a land here. I think it's called Hagra Brood Pit. Stony Silence shuts off my Chrome Moxes, so now I'm down 2 mana. You don't really show up to a Legacy tournament worrying much about Stony Silence specifically. Null Rod I can see, but maybe a Collector Roof here and there, right? When's the last time you seen Stony Silence? I don't know. All right, blinks to Spreading Seas, draws a card. So now I only have 3 mana. Can't even use my Ancient Tomb as a soul land at the moment. Getting constrained on mana thanks to Stony Silence and the Spreading Seas. And it looks like I just drew Curse of Misfortunes, which is pretty annoying. Swinging for 5.
Oh, fucked up. Yeah, fucked up. Alright, whatever. I'll play another Chalice on 1.
All right. I messed up some math here, as you heard me say. I effed up. I should have played the Chalice before attacking. I was unsure about what my play was going to be. I think I remember that I was thinking about casting a non-artifact spell, but miscounted my mana, forgetting that I had Spreading Seas on the Ancient Tomb. Maybe that's what mixed me up there. Maybe I have a Hagra Mauling in hand. I don't really remember. But maybe that's what tripped me up there.
Zero. Oh wait, no, sorry. I have 2. I totally forgot. Yeah, past 2.
Yeah, I'm realizing now that I may have really messed this up by not having the right clock with my construct token. Let's see. Another Chalice on 1 gets counterspelled. Just trying to get more artifacts in the field. Attacking for 6, putting Sam down to 7 and passing. Trying to race Yurion here. But the Stony Silence is killing me. Along with my small error. Now, so here was the other thing I was thinking about. if I had cast Murderous Rider, it's in on an adventure right now on the top of my playmat. 2 turns ago, I might have gained enough life to survive. Yeah, there were a couple of mistakes made here that seem even more clear to me now that I'm watching it back.
Sorry?
Destroys. Draw. Let's see. Outer. Nope.
What am I going to do about Urion now? Ensnaring Bridge. Maybe that was my plan, why I didn't play the Murderous Rider. Okay. I don't know.
Fucked up so bad.
All right, Sam takes the game.
Thought about playing this.
Probably could have played that a little bit better. The math on the Chalice was unfortunate.